That's pretty irresponsible, don't you think? And that's pretty arrogant. Hot, huh? Alright, I guess it's not appropriate to do this here. Let's go to the office. Last night we went to the mall, and usually there are only really two malls that we go to that we really like to go to. There's Eastwood Mall, which we got one of those pet license cards or IDs the other day, so they're pretty strict about it. And then last night we went to UP Town Center. We just wanted to go out and walk the dogs, and have some time for ourselves, family time, have some dinner. And while we were waiting for dinner last night, we were sitting in one of those restaurants where you could sit outside because we had the dogs with us. Pilot, he got up and sort of started to protect me because there was this dog, unleashed, that was trying to come close to us. The dog was really just curious. And then my dog, Pilot, was leashed. He was tied under the table. The two dogs started to get agitated at each other. Not that the other dog wanted to fight my dog. It's just that, it was starting to cause... And I was starting to sort of panic because the other dog, if it did decide to attack, it's unleashed, so nobody could really stop it. Even if I could pull Pilot away, the other dog would be free to attack my dog. So I told the owner, I said, maybe I think you need to have your dog leashed. And then I was surprised because he said something to me like, oh, no, my dog's trained. My dog's a nice dog. And so I said, yeah, but my dog obviously is not really a nice dog, so it might attack your dog. And then he says, your dog is the problem. I forgot to put is the problem there. My dog is the problem? I mean, I'm doing everything that I can to contain my dog in case he does do something unruly. But still, he was still insistent that, oh, no, my dog's a nice dog and he's a trained dog. But if his dog was trained, he wouldn't be coming over to my dog, sniffing my dog. He should be able to stop his dog from coming over to other dogs and doing other things that... And even if I like dogs, what if I don't like your dog? I don't like your dog coming to my dog. And he couldn't pull his dog away because the dog wasn't really listening to him. It wasn't really trained, which I think is such a subjective term. For you, just because you can call his name, you think that it's trained already. Anyway, that verbal exchange got really bad because after that, he turns around to me and says, and my dog is my business. Your dog is your business. It's none of your business to be talking about my dog. And it's not like his dog is one of those little tiny chihuahuas. This guy had a pretty medium-sized dog. And no, in my standards, it wasn't trained because it was sniffing all around. It wasn't like walking around like a canine unit where it was just walking around alert and sticking to his master. No, this guy, this dog that he had was running around sniffing everybody's ass and came up to my dog. So I'm afraid of your dog for whatever it might do, even if you think that it's trained. I don't understand how he gets the arrogance and the entitlement to say, oh, no, my dog is trained and mind your own business. My dog is my business. It's none of your business. So last night I found out that these malls have two totally different policies. In Eastwood, you need to have an ID card to make sure that your dog has vet records and that it's got immunization and got all these shots, and it's that basically it's a safe dog, that if one dog bites another dog, it's not going to. And they pretty much have a strict policy that your dog needs to be leashed. In UP Town Center, as much as I love this mall, we found out that they don't really have a strict policy about the dogs. Basically, what their stand on it is like, whatever your dog does, it's your responsibility. So maybe the guy does have a right to just let his dog walk around because the mall doesn't really have that policy. But I'm begging, please, UP Town Center, we like your mall, we like to go to your mall, but we don't want to be going to your mall being afraid of other dog owners and other dogs allowing their dogs to be running around. Because if it goes to our dogs, or if it goes to my kid, and again, his dog wasn't like a really tiny little chihuahua. It was as big, if not a couple of inches even taller than Pilot. So all I'm saying is, don't be arrogant, don't be entitled, don't feel all good about yourself because you feel like you can walk your dog unleashed in a mall. I mean, think about it. Even canine units, these dogs that have to qualify to be even part of that high-level training, when they do pass and they do walk around with their master, they still have to be walked around leashed. Which means if even canine units with the highest level of training need to be leashed, then your f***ing dog needs to be leashed too.
Dad.
If there's any unleashed dog that comes up to my leashed dog and they do start fighting, I'm not gonna hesitate to kick your dog away from my dog. So UP Town Center, to avoid any confrontation between dogs and between humans, because I wanted to really smack him in the face last night for saying, oh, it's none of your business, that my dog's none of your business. To avoid any confrontation between dogs and humans, consider having a rule that all dogs, especially the medium-sized ones, find those little tiny ones that are in a stroller, but at least the medium-sized ones, please. I'm afraid for my safety. I'm afraid from the safety of my son.
Thank you.